The Galactic Council chamber stretched 3 kilometers in diameter, a monument to cooperative governance that had stood for 12,000 years. Today, it would witness something unprecedented. Maya stood at the human delegation podium, her dark eyes scanning the assembled representatives of 47 species. The translator implant behind her ear hummed softly, converting the cacophony of alien languages into comprehensible data streams. Beside her, William adjusted his formal diplomatic jacket, his jaw tight with barely contained frustration. "The human request," announced Counselor Vexthar, his chitinous plates clicking with what the translation software identified as condescension, "is denied. Again." A ripple of what might have been laughter, or its alien equivalents, passed through the chamber. The Cathari delegation's tentacles writhed in amusement. The silicon-based renders pulsed with colors that human color theory couldn't properly name, but that Maya's enhanced optics translated as mockery. William leaned toward the microphone. "Counselor, with respect, Earth has contributed more technological innovations to the galactic commons in the past 50 years than any 3 species combined. Our request for a permanent Security Council seat is hardly unreasonable." "Contributed," Vexthar's mandibles spread wide. "You mean stolen, reverse-engineered, and crudely modified. Humans are clever mimics, I'll grant you that, but mimicry is not innovation." Maya's fingers tightened on the podium's edge, leaving small stress fractures in the exotic matter composite. She forced her voice to remain level. "Our quantum consciousness networks, our gravity manipulation technology, our biological adaptation matrices, these were developed independently, using principles we discovered. Discovered from databases we generously shared," interjected Ambassador Quill of the Avarian Collective, her feathers ruffling with superiority. "Your species has been spacefaring for barely 2 centuries. We have records older than your oldest civilizations. You are children playing with tools you don't fully understand." The chamber erupted in agreement. Holographic displays flickered with vote tallies. The motion was defeated 44-3. Only the Deltans, the Whisperkin, and curiously, the enigmatic observers abstained. William's hand found Maya's shoulder, a grounding touch. They had anticipated this outcome, but hearing the casual dismissal still stung. "Then," Maya said quietly, her voice cutting through the noise with surgical precision, "Earth hereby invokes Article 7 of the Galactic Charter. Effective immediately, we are withdrawing from all cooperative agreements, technology sharing protocols, and mutual defense pacts." The chamber fell silent. Vexthar's translator struggled with what might have been confusion. What? "You heard correctly, Counselor." William stepped forward, producing a data crystal that materialized in holographic space throughout the chamber. "Earth officially ends its participation in the Galactic Council. We are withdrawing our scientists from collaborative research stations, our engineers from infrastructure projects, and our military forces from peacekeeping operations. Immediately." "You can't be serious," Ambassador Quill sputtered. "You're threatening to isolate yourselves because we won't give you a seat. This is childish." Maya smiled, but there was no warmth in it. "Not isolation, Ambassador, independence. There's a difference." "This is political suicide," Vexthar declared. "Without council protection, without access to our trade networks, your species will stagnate. You'll be vulnerable to pirates, raiders, hostile expansion." "We'll manage," William interrupted. "In fact, let me share something interesting." The holographic display shifted. Star charts appeared, showing the galactic spiral in intricate detail. Hundreds of systems glowed with human markers. "For the past 70 years," William continued, "while we've been playing the role of eager students and junior partners, we've also been conducting independent exploration and colonization. These 347 systems, all human colonies, self-sufficient, well-defended, and completely off council records." The chamber exploded into chaos. Maya waited for the noise to subside before continuing. Furthermore, every human scientist currently working on council projects has been developing parallel research, private research. We've been generous with our findings, sharing them freely through the commons, but we kept the most significant breakthroughs to ourselves. She gestured, and the display changed again. Specifications appeared, weapons systems that violated 3 separate council weapons treaties, faster-than-light drives that shouldn't theoretically exist, energy generation methods that dwarfed council standards. Impossible, breathed the render representative, its crystalline structure vibrating at frequencies that indicated shock. Some of these designs violate fundamental physical laws. They violate your understanding of physical laws, Maya corrected. Humans have a saying, necessity is the mother of invention. You've kept us at arm's length for 2 centuries, condescending to us, mocking our contributions. So we learned to rely only on ourselves. William pulled up another set of data. Your quantum consciousness networks, we improved them. They're 30% more efficient now, and we've been using the upgraded versions for 15 years. Your gravity manipulation, we can do it with a fraction of the energy cost. Your biological adaptation matrices, we've extended the technology to terraform entire worlds in decades instead of millennia. And you kept this secret. Vexthar's voice carried a note of something the translator couldn't quite capture. Fear, perhaps. We shared what we thought you could handle, Maya said. We didn't want to upset the delicate balance of galactic politics. But since you've made it clear that humans will never be respected as equals, we see no reason to continue the charade. She advanced to the center of the chamber, her augmented physiology allowing her to move with a grace that drew every alien eye. Let me be absolutely clear about what happens now. Every human researcher leaves council facilities within 48 hours. Every piece of human-designed technology integrated into council infrastructure will be remotely disabled unless you agree to pay licensing fees, retroactive fees for the past 70 years of use. The Cathari representative's tentacles thrashed. You can't hold galactic infrastructure hostage. Watch us, William said flatly. Oh, and speaking of infrastructure, those peacekeeping forces in the Andromeda Wedge, the ones preventing the Vraxian horde from spilling into council space, 60% of those forces are human. They're coming home. You would doom entire civilizations out of spite. Ambassador Quill's feathers were now rigid with horror. Maya's expression hardened. No, Ambassador. We're simply no longer fighting your wars for free while you treat us like inferior children. You want our help, recognize our sovereignty, respect our contributions, or learn to defend yourselves. She paused, letting the weight of her words settle. We tried partnership. We tried cooperation. We bent over backward to prove ourselves worthy of respect, and you laughed at us. So now humanity charts its own course. The observer delegation, silent throughout the proceedings, finally activated their communication system. Their spokesbot's voice was melodic, almost sad. We warned you, it said to the council at large. Humans are unique among spacefaring species. They evolve through adversity. You should have made them allies when you had the chance. Vexthar's composure cracked. You can't survive alone. The galaxy is vast and dangerous. And humanity has been surviving in dangerous environments for 300,000 years. William cut him off. We climbed from the caves to the stars without anyone's help. We'll continue just fine. Maya pulled up one final display. This is humanity's formal declaration of independence from the Galactic Council. We're not your enemies, unless you make us your enemies. We're simply done being your subordinates. You wanted to see what humans are capable of when properly motivated. Congratulations. You're about to find out. She deactivated her translator implant, a symbolic gesture that wasn't lost on anyone present. This meeting is concluded. Earth expects all council personnel to vacate our territories within 1 standard week. Any failure to comply will be treated as an act of aggression. As Maya and William turned to leave, the chamber remained frozen in stunned silence. Only when the humans reached the exit did the chaos truly begin, delegations shouting, demanding emergency sessions, calling for sanctions that everyone knew would be meaningless. Outside in the corridor leading to their ship, William finally allowed himself a grim smile. Think they'll learn? Maya considered the question as they walked past the towering monuments to galactic cooperation. Eventually. Humans are stubborn, but we're not unique in that. They'll rage, threaten, maybe even attempt some military posturing. But when their infrastructure starts failing, when the Vraxians push deeper into their territory, when they realize how much they actually depended on primitive, human innovation, they'll come to negotiate, William finished. On our terms this time, Maya agreed. We gave them 2 centuries to treat us as equals. They chose mockery instead. Now they'll learn what it costs to lose humanity as an ally. Their ship waited in the diplomatic bay, sleek and elegant in ways that council vessels weren't. Human engineering, refined through decades of independent research. As they boarded, Maya took one last look at the council complex. "Do you think we did the right thing?" William asked quietly. Maya smiled, genuine this time. "We stopped begging for respect we'd already earned. Yes, William, we absolutely did the right thing." The ship lifted off, its drives barely registering on council sensors, another human innovation they'd kept to themselves. As Earth's delegation departed, 47 alien species faced an uncomfortable truth. They had mistaken humanity's patience for weakness, their cooperation for dependence. They would not make that mistake again. In the depths of human space, 347 colonies received the same message simultaneously. The time for deference was over. Humanity would forge its own destiny among the stars, with or without the Galactic Council's blessing. Preferably without.